You're born. You have no idea where. Because, you guessed it, you're blind. You slither out of a leathery little egg the size of a tic-tac, buried somewhere in the ground in a damp termite nest. You don't get a birth party. You don't even get a mom. She laid the eggs and dipped. Classic. Your siblings are also blind, and tiny, and useless. You look like a worm cosplaying as a spaghetti noodle. Welcome to your life as a blind snake. Your entire vibe, wrong place, wrong body, wrong century. Let's talk about your body. You're about 4 inches long, pinkish, smooth, and shaped like something a bird would poop out and immediately regret. You have scales, sure, but they're so fine you basically feel like overcooked ramen. Your eyes, technically there, biologically pointless. They're buried under a layer of skin and look like sad gray dots, like someone started to make you a face and gave up halfway through. You see light and dark. That's it. A shadow? Could be a predator. Or a rock. Doesn't matter. You panic either way. So what do you do with this cursed little noodle body? You burrow. Constantly. You live in tunnels. Dig tunnels. Eat things in tunnels. You are the subterranean cryptid no one asked for. Your diet? Glorious. Ant larvae. Termite eggs. Sometimes soft-bodied worms, if you're feeling wild. You don't hand so much as stumble into food and inhale it. Zero elegance. Maximum desperation. At least your tongue helps a little. It flicks out and reads chemical signals like a slithering GPS. Except your GPS has no signal, no map, and occasionally tells you to eat dirt. Now, here's the kicker. Everything wants to eat you. Birds? Yes. Mammals? Obviously. Other snakes? Absolutely. Even ants, the literal room service of your life, will murder you if you hang around too long. Your defense strategy? Be small. Be squishy. Be not worth the effort. And if that doesn't work, curl into a sad, slow loop and hope your predator is emotionally affected by pity. Spoiler, they never are. Let's talk about your amazing advantages. Your skull is shaped like a tiny shovel. Why? To dig your way into more dirt. Your lower jaw? Independent. That's right, it moves separately to help suck up and digs faster. Congrats! You're basically a biological vacuum cleaner. No teeth, no venom, no striking power. If you were any less threatening, you'd be a gummy worm with anxiety. Eventually, after months of trench warfare in the dirt, you get a bit bigger. Not much, a few more inches. You're now medium spaghetti. You level up from accidentally squishable to barely noticeable. But still, you're a professional digger now. You tunnel through soil like it's a toxic relationship. Never fun, always stressful, and nobody knows why you keep doing it. Sometimes you accidentally dig into the wrong colony. Boom, angry ants. You flail backward like a panic noodle trying to escape. Sometimes it works. Sometimes, well, guess who just became protein for the hive? Now what? Mating season. Or, as it's known in the blind snake world, the worst game of hide and seek ever invented. You sense pheromones in the soil and follow the trail. Slowly, awkwardly. Half the time it's a rock, the other half it's your own tail. Eventually, somehow, you find a female. She's underwhelmed. You coil, you mate, she lives. The emotional connection, non-existent. The physical satisfaction, let's just say it was brief, and not worth the calories burned. She lays a couple of eggs, buries them, and vanishes like every responsible snake parent. You'll never meet her kids. They'll hatch in darkness, alone, just like you. Born into the soil, born into confusion, born into an ecosystem that mostly wants them dead, is the circle of dirt. But don't feel too bad. Even if you met them, you wouldn't recognize them. They'd just be smaller blind noodles bumping into rocks and asking the dirt for directions. And besides, there's no time for bonding. You've got your own problems. Like the fact that you're literally starving again. You spend all your energy trying to make more sadness and now you're running on fumes. So, back to the grind. back to digging through the ant-infested hellhole you call home. Every tunnel feels the same, every day tastes like soil, and once in a while, a centipede tries to assassinate you in your sleep. But you keep going, not because you're brave, not because you're strong, but because there's really nothing else to do. Blind snake life is just one long, slow panic attack underground. How inspiring. Still, life must go on. You keep digging, keep feeding, keep vibrating nervously every time a beetle walks by. And sometimes, just sometimes, some well-meaning human finds you and thinks you're a baby snake, or worse, an earthworm. You get scooped up, poked, put on Instagram, and tossed back into the dirt like a rejected garden accessory. You scream internally. They smile and walk away. You slither into the darkness and question your entire existence. At some point, you're just tired. You've eaten hundreds of eggs, dodged predators, survived dry seasoned floods, and the existential dread of being alive. You dream of light, not because you can see it, but because you want to believe there's something up there that isn't just more damn dirt. You tunnel upward, brave and noble, a journey to the surface. You emerge into the blinding sun, triumphant, and the bird eats you instantly. End of story? Almost. Because in reality, most blind snakes don't go out dramatically. They just dry up, or get stepped on, or die of starvation because the ant colony moved 2 inches to the left and you couldn't follow. No glory, no legacy, just silence, darkness, and the faint smell of termite poop. Sometimes you're surviving to old age. You get bigger, more sluggish, and start mistaking your own tail for a threat again. Your tunnel maps make no sense anymore, and you just want peace. But peace is for animals with dignity. You're stuck dodging centipedes with a nervous system held together by stress and hope. So, yeah, that's why it sucks to be born as a blind snake. You're born blind, you're shaped like regret. You live in a toilet made of soil. Your diet is basically ant soap. And your entire life is one long, poorly lit game of don't die yet. And the worst part, there are over 200 species of blind snakes on Earth, which means God looked at this sad little underground nightmare and said, yes, more of that. But hey, at least you don't have to see how bad your life is. Can't see your problems if you can't see anything at all.